Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're here with another 12-12 historical siege today, and today it is the Siege of Granada. The kingdoms of Castile and Aragon are besieging the final Muslim outpost in Spain to complete their reconquista of the entire peninsula. And we have 3 Christian armies, 2 Castilian and 1 Aragonese, facing 3 Granada armies as we show off the new Granada faction that is in 1212 AD, and you can see them here. Some of their crossbows look glorious. But yes, we are trying out the tester version for 1212, which adds loads of new factions, including a new Spanish faction, the Kingdom of Navarre, which I will be showing off in a video tomorrow. So I definitely stick around tomorrow to see that that battle. And that awesome faction. And as you can see, we have the new unit. We have trebuchets are finally into 1212 AD. As you can see, Granada has a trebuchet set up here, already losing 1. It kind of mysteriously turns into a catapult when it dies. But yes, it is duking it out with a with Aragon's trebuchet, which has also lost a trebuchet. And yeah, you can see there the fiery balls of justice going in. And they're gonna hit something. Let's have a look. Looks like, oh yes, they take out another one. Glorious, glorious. But yeah, so have a quick look at some of the what would you call them? Grenadine forces? Grenadan forces? I think Grenadine, since it says Grenadine urban spearmen here, which is like one of their most elite spear units that they have. They look pretty nice. They've kind of got like a bit of a mix of Western and Eastern armor going on, which is kind of the thing with Granada. They do have that sort of, like they have Grenadine knights. So they have like the whole like knight idea, but they're a Muslim faction, which is kind of interesting. We've got some more here. These are tier 1, so I mean, they might not be able to fare so well against other stuff. What we got here? We've got some like pike units. They look quite nice. They look very westernized. They look like the very much westernized sort of style. And what have we got here? We've got the general, which I guess he looks like he's just like a unique unit of a general. Shia Kashar, I don't know. I don't know my Grenadine generals, but yeah, that looks awesome, that unit. And then we've got most of their sword units are like over here somewhere. I think this is one of their sword units. Yeah, Grenadine urban swords. They look pretty nice. Look very much like the spear variant, but they look awesome as well. But we will certainly be looking at more stuff as the battle goes on as well. As you can see, Castile, who I am playing as over here, are about to land on the walls, or are landing on the walls. We have a lot of Rodoleros, very much well and truly upgraded. They have a lot of gold chevrons going on right now, but they look awesome, these guys. I'm pretty sure Castile's not had much work done to it. I think Aragon's had a few units added. Castile might have had 1 or 2 as well, by the looks of it. But nothing new, like massively. I think these shock infantry are kind of new. Well, they've certainly got a new name. But they don't look like, the models don't look that new, to be honest. But you can see here we have Culverine about to blow a hole in here. We have some Rodoleros ready to go through the breach. I decided that I don't need to land more towers up here. We've got enough towers being landed anyway. But yeah, there's a sizable force down here, and they're ready for us. This breach point here. They're going to put a hole. We're going to put a hole in the wall here. And they're going to be able to charge from both sides if a unit comes through, which probably will come through. And we can see we're landing over here as well, landing on this wall, trying to occupy as much of the Granada forces as possible along this long wall. But yeah, I have like not really got enough forces to attack on that entire front effectively. And Aragon is now off the wall. He is trying to form up with the sergeants here. They are trying to do their bit, but there is a cavalry charge coming. So they're going to be able to wipe the floor with these sergeants before they even like arrive. And there you go. Jeez. And they go in, and like these poor guys just get off the wall, and they're like, oh god. There's like the rest still up there, and like, quickly get down, aid our comrades. And yeah, this sergeant unit's getting evaporated. And yeah, they need to be careful with the other 2, and it's happening on this side as well. This sergeant unit's also going to get evaporated. They have spears ready. Really, like, Aragon shouldn't have then got off the walls. He should have stayed on the walls, seeing all this cavalry here, and he should have got crossbows up and gunners ready to support in the instance that this happened. He's actually winning this trebuchet combat though. He's going to take them out, and it looks like Castile over here has also got a trebuchet, and he's also firing. Oh, that's a good hit there, though. That was a really good hit, taking out a lot of those urban spears. And yes, the first bit of combat has begun, like infantry combat has begun. We have some Rodoleros fighting against some of the urban spearmen, urban swords, I think it is. Yes, swords. And God, these units are colourful. I do love them. They got like heart shield shaped shields, have like the Muslims. That's kind of cool. But if you're enjoying the content at the moment and would like to see more historical siege battles, then do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. I do enjoy showing off 1212, and certainly doing like historical scenarios is really, really fun to like recreate and just like try and change history, or just like even just sort of see history like being recreated. It's very fun to do. But yeah, so I mean, we're actually winning this fight here. Like, this unit is even in combat, but this one's losing, and this one is even. So I guess that's kind of a win in sort of the eyes of Castile. Again, we're fighting down here. We're like pinned in at the wall. You can just see the difference in armor. These guys are like in plate armor, and they're fighting guys with sort of like padded jackets and like chainmail underneath. Probably is enough to stop them, but like, just see the comparison. And I mean, at this point, like in history, in 1491, like you can see here, culverines being used. So it makes like just taking a castle like this much, much easier than it would in like past years when they're doing the Reconquista. You'd actually have to do a proper siege, starve people out, maybe send in like trebuchets and catapults. So yeah, the culverin certainly sped up the Reconquista, because towns are just so much harder to hold on to now. And the Muslims, at this point, like the balance of power had changed. Like, if the culverin had come around earlier, and like when the Muslims were still in power, like a large amount of territory was still theirs, they may have been able to force the Christians out of Spain entirely, but it just wasn't to be. It wasn't to be, as you can see here. We're just fighting in lots of different choke points down here. The Aragonese are having a really tough time. They're going to lose the sword unit to the general here. So yeah, they've lost a lot of sergeants already, and that's, yeah, Aragon's having a really rough time. I mean, balance of power, they have the numbers, but we possibly have the upgrades and stuff like that, so that might be enough. But if they carry on charging like that with cavalry, doesn't matter how many upgrades we've got, they're going to be able to murder us. And there you go. That's 3 units of sergeants lost by Aragon really early on. That's a poor start for Aragon, really. And he's now also, what's he? Oh, this is Castile fighting on the walls here. Oh no, this is Aragon. Aragon is fighting on the walls here with his sergeants, and he's losing this fight, I believe, because the gunners here, these Grenadian arquebuses, the gunners anyway, are shooting up here onto the wall. I mean, it's the only thing you can really aim at. There's nothing over here actually. I mean, there's some Castilian troops, but they are definitely out of range. Yeah, these gunners can definitely shoot there, and they are, yeah, they are 5 projectiles, -4 morale, and they're losing. And yeah, their fate. This is a unit of 101, sorry, and it's yeah, it's gonna break. This unit has got itself surrounded. That's a poor decision by Castile there. Needs to get up more troops. Another tower to land here just to sort of counter that flank. But oh, there's a head just fall off. That's a poor man, poor head. But as you can see, the fight on the walls is pretty intense. And it's going to go on for quite a while. And then comes on another volley of a trebuchet. I don't know what that's firing at. It's just going to destroy the town, I guess, and burn the town. I mean, settlement damage is 0%. It doesn't seem to do a lot. You seem to just burn the individual, like, building, and then it just seems to go out or extinguish. They don't seem to just set all alight, like a chain reaction sort of thing. But you can see in the breach here, we are breaking one of their units. We have crossbows up here now helping, and the Rodaleros here are, well, they've stabilized a bit. They're wavering themselves though. But we are starting to win in this breach point here, which is huge because we need to win this fight, because everywhere else it seems like the Spanish are having a really rough time. And there you go, yeah, that sword unit's there fully broken. I mean, they're also firing in here themselves. They've got their own crossbows. I guess it's not a bad angle. They can sort of like fire above their own because the Rodaleros are sort of exposed because of the height of the breach. But I mean, the angle down here, they've got the crossbows here firing as well. I think those archers over there are trying to shoot the crossbows. No, they've done like no damage. Yeah, these crossbows here got a nice angle just firing down there onto all those swords. And I mean, also look at this. We've got 2 units of swords here, Rodaleros, and they're going to beat two units, the urban militia, urban swords and the urban spearmen. And they are really upgraded units both. So that is surprising. Same over here, really. The swords are losing in this fight. Spears are holding their ground. I mean, there's a sword unit actually losing as well. But you can see a lot of cavalry and pikes now moving in this direction. They're clearly worried about this. And you can see the breach has been claimed by Castile. So now shock infantry can make its way inside, as can these pole arms. And we've broken them over here. So the spears will be next into the combat. And, I mean, they don't stand a chance. These spears are, I mean, they're trying to form spear wall, I think. But that's not going to happen. But yes, hopefully the testers version, which has eventually become the new update, will be coming out very soon. I would say in the next few weeks, possibly, but I'm not sure exactly on the time frame. But it looks like if there's a testers version out, there's always a good chance it will the open version will appear soon, like the non-testers version will appear very soon. You can see here we're trying to chase down this crossbow unit, but I guess the crossbows are kind of being sacrificed to allow the cavalry to appear. And these Grenadine Knights are on their way, and they will run down these Rodoleros like they ran down the sergeants of Aragon if they must. But I mean, they're going to get slowed down by the crossbows here, and in come the Grenadine Knights, and yeah, they're going to mow down this Rodoleros, and the numbers will start to drop. This is a fresh unit, and it's not going to last much longer. And this one won't charge as well, because that one will have to go through its own unit, so I don't think that will do as well. We're desperately trying to get up shock infantry here, you can see. And the pole arms are also making their way in. And you may be wondering what's my culverine doing. My culverine at this point is now opening up another breach point over here. I think it's here. Yeah, we're at 60%. We're opening up a breach point here because I realized that since all the cavalry went over here, this is a viable way for us to get in. So it looks like Aragon has brought around his cavalry. I think I mentioned it to him as like, just go through this breach point here. I was going to dedicate my cavalry, but my cavalry is now needed inside the city. So I was saying, Aragon, get your cavalry through this breach point, and you can go after all these choke points here. You can go after a general, in fact. There's a general very close to the front lines. There's actually two generals very close to the front lines. If you get through there. There are more cavalry, but if you do an assault on this side with your infantry, you may be able to, well, use them there. And it also looks like Castile's sending around his cavalry. We've also got more cavalry coming around. Some caballeros. 2 units of caballeros. They'll be really, really nice to have inside. You can see like the arms of Leon and Castile. Excellent. So yeah, we're going to have plenty of cavalry in here. It's going to take a little bit longer. They need to be careful they don't just charge in front of my line of fire here. 85%. And there you go. You can see the cavalry falling back. The shock infantry is appearing and the pole arms. The swords did survive. They only lost like 50 or so men. So that's okay. I'm now going to form a shield wall here with the pole arms. And allow the shock infantry to go back like round here. Even though we're winning in this choke point here, I really wanted to get some more like momentum and get inside and get a move on. And Granada, yeah, just can't deal with these swords. They're getting absolutely wasted. But yeah, Granada has good cavalry and a good handgunners. If you ever want to play as them, they have some good, like their infantry is possibly not the greatest. I don't think they have any shock infantry, but they have really good gunners and good cavalry. So if you ever want to use them like in a pitch battle, I'd say they're very good for a pitch battle. And I think they have also got some good archers. I'm pretty sure they've got some pretty decent archers. I mean, their crossbows are pretty nice. They've got heavy crossbows, which are basically like pavises, which is kind of unique for the Muslims because they don't usually have like pavis sort of style crossbows. As you can see here, we're just like sort of standing in a choke point looking at each other. Pole arms versus pikes. I'd probably lose in that fight. I need to really get some crossbows up here to force them. But I think I was just going to like punch way through here and just flank the pikes. Because we are nearly through. And the cavalry is quite a way away. But I'm also landing my gunners now. I decided to get them onto there. And I'm going to get the gunners up here. Because I saw that they were going to bring their cavalry up. So I was like, right, well, if they're going to send their cavalry in here, I've also got swords, I've got cavalry, I've got shock infantry, I've got gunners. I can outdo their cavalry with some volleys of the gunners and crossbows and just generally everything. And you can see here, Castile is still having a hard time fighting on this wall. He's now having to send up shock infantry. So this is a really good time for Granada to use, like, he's got all these bows back here with, like, nearly full ammo. You need to use this ammo to focus down these units on the wall. Certainly the shock infantry, while they're on the wall, a great unit to shoot down because they've got poor missile block. Look at those armored men. They just do not give a damn. They're going to just kill as many like Muslims they can find. Deus Vult, they'll be chanting. It is basically a crusade in Spain. It's a mini crusade in Spain. Basically, it's the Reconquista. But it's not that small. It's a huge campaign that basically occupies the foreign policy of Spain for a good long time. Like several centuries. It's their only foreign policy is fighting the Muslims, really. And there you go, the cavalry fight is just beginning, really. I'm actually losing this fight here. Tier 1 against Tier 3, and I'm losing with my Hildargos here. But we've got more Grenadine Knights appearing. But hopefully my gunners, yeah, they're starting to open up fire up there onto that hill. You can see up there, or onto that wall. And they should be starting to pick off cavalry. Enemy general has fallen. Oh, okay, so yes, the cavalry here, the breach is opened, and the cavalry have got in and have charged the general here, and they've killed one. They've got a general. That's excellent. Excellent for the Crusaders, and they're going to try and fall back through the pike line, and that's not a bad idea, but the deed is done. The general is dead, and now Castile and Aragon have their cavalry inside, and they can just go rampant. And this is like Tier 3 Royal Guard Cavalry. This unit is gorgeous looking, by the way. It really is. Look at their shields and their armor. I just think that's a damn sexy looking unit. And yeah, they're fighting against some Grenadine Knights, I believe, who are under some, I'm not even going to try, Malukan or something like that. But yeah, they've got no upgrades compared to the Royal Guard, who's a triple gold chevron. And they're trying to go after another general, but they're not going to make it. They're going to send in, no, they're going to pull back their other cavalry unit. But they need to be careful. They probably want to charge down here while they have the chance. With their Caballeros, want to go in there and just do some damage so they can take out this spear unit. Need to be aggressive here. It's 2v1 it could be, and I mean they could go after this cavalry. I mean they don't need to send more cavalry this way to squash this unit. That's already done. The deed is done. They've got pikes falling back here, and now you can see we are through as Castile. We are broken through. That cavalry getting inside has tried to force this Granada player to fall back as much as possible. But his cavalry is still here. It's still locked in combat. And this is a huge amount of cavalry that they're leaving trapped here. And there's like all sorts in here. There's, as you can see, there's shock infantry, cavalry. There's swords here waiting to try and go in. The gunners and crossbows up here. I have literally nearly every unit of like my range up here, focusing down this cavalry, just trying to get them to win. I've got swords coming around. The pole arms are blocking off any sort of reinforcements coming. And that's a huge turn in the battle for us at this point. But yeah, they need to send in, they need to be careful with this cavalry here. They're going to charge this Castilian unit here. That's going to be a risk, but they might be able to play it off with the spears here supporting. These Caballeros might need some reinforcements. Especially, yeah, you can see the spears are arriving. And they're actually trying to fall back, and that's going to cost them some lives. Yeah, they sent up more cavalry over here, and I don't know why they're all over here. There's no need for cavalry on this flank now. They should all be over here. And yeah, they're going to lose this Caballero unit just because it's retreating. Oh, they have a unit here. Why is this unit here? It's no need. I mean, I think it's because we're all going over here to now deal with this area and try and free up the Castilian player here, who's having a really rough time. He's already down to like his shock infantry. Most of his swords are dead. He's got pole arms and shock left. And just his archers. And yeah. It's not a good sign, really. I mean, they're trying to chase down this pike unit. That's what they're trying to do. So it can't get back to the cap point, which is actually not a bad idea. And if the pike unit should just take a right, and this archer unit just has to save itself. Oh, it's actually going to, or it could just turn and face here. It could just turn and face, and it's going to do just that. Oh god, this could be painful for the cavalry if they don't realize. Oh, they have. Smart by the player. Well done, realizing that. They are now safe. I mean, this sword unit, that's very much chargeable. And there you go. The cavalry's all broken here. And now all of this mass of Castilian forces is freed up. And I would be scared if I was a Muslim right now. I would be scared. Granada is looking a little bit ropey, but he's got a lot of forces here in this main cap point. A lot of pikes as well. If they had a mortar, that would be really good, just to like focus them down. But they don't. They have I think they all brought trebuchets. I'm not sure, but here you can see, look at this. The trebuchet coming in, just hits a general unit. I mean, it's a huge blob here. I don't know if he was focusing down the general or what, if he was going for the pikes, but it overshot and hit the general. Don't think he's dead, but he's certainly going to be damaged. But at this point, I mean, you can fire into here. It's not really general sniping, because this is where the center of the units is. It sort of is general sniping, but at the same time, if they were retreating at this point already to the cap point, then, I mean, yeah, they're trying to hit the pikes, I think, and they also hit the general. I'm not really sure what they're trying to aim at. Oh, that's a good hit, actually. That was a really good hit. But yeah, I mean, this is such a huge blob of troops here. You're going to hit general and infantry. It's hardly sniping. And the trebuchet is very inaccurate, as you can see. If it's trying to hit the general, it's doing a poor job. It's hitting a lot more pikes. And yeah, okay, the cavalry over here is now causing absolute mayhem. And it's going to go into the next unit, you imagine, and they're gonna feel the pain of these Hildagas. They're going to come in bit by bit. Oh god, yeah, and that breach point's now saved. Any risk of losing this sword unit is lost. They're going to rout this unit, and I mean, they're just routing everything along this line. They're just going to keep going along, routing everything. I mean, they can now go in behind. They can flank this sword unit. They're trying to get this pike unit, catch this unawares. My general was actually trying to go for it. The king's bodyguard, the king of Castile himself, Ferdinand II, was trying to go for it, but was not to be. And he's going to charge. I think that sword unit at the bottom of the wall is trying to get onto the wall, I think, or it's either trying to get on it or come off it. But either way, it's going to get charged. And there we go. They are dead. That's a flattened unit if I've ever seen one. And that unit is dropping like flies. Look at that. 74 and dropping. I mean, they could carry on down this line if it wanted. It's a bit of a risk because there's all these archers here. So going down this line is very much a risk. You can see here, look at all these spears. I mean, they could charge these spears if they wanted with cavalry. They can certainly charge the sword unit. They want to get the shock off the wall, really, and start charging down here.
The enemy tower is no more than wreckage.
The artillery, the trebuchet, are just glorious of trebuchets in it. And it's, look at this. Oh, what a hit. Just like taking out 5 or 6 like pikemen every volley. And that one, that one definitely was aiming for the general. That's he's already pretty weak, going just off that. And there you go. We caught this pike queue now. It didn't quite get its pikes down in time, which was huge. It's a huge thing. I mean, it is still killing cavalry, but it's like we charged it just before they got the pikes down. So it was a bigger win. But they're now firing crossbows. You can see here they've got like crossbows, they've got gunners, they've got archers, they've got all sorts up there now firing. So we're having to get up back our cavalry before they break, before they kill my general, who's already down to 30 men. Need to get him back to like out of range. But yeah, the pike unit's gone, so that's a big win there. There's one less pike unit to defend this cap point. And we're still desperately waiting. You're just like, this unit here is dead. It's dead, basically waiting. I think they're shooting their own men in the back doing this with the crossbows here. Yeah, it's not a very good line of sight. You're shooting at me, like at my men, but you're also killing your own doing it. So I mean, it's a worthy thing. I'm happy for them to do this. But yeah, this unit can't go now. It can't retreat because it gets killed by my men. But it can't also stay here because eventually we're going to break through here. It may cost us like many men, but we'll do it. We'll break through. And you can see swords now charging down here. Looks like it's the sergeants of Aragon. They've had a rough time. They want revenge on these goddamn Muslims. These Granadan invaders. I mean, they're not even invaders at this point. They're the remnants of the invaders all those hundreds of years ago. But if you've got this far and you would be interested in joining some of these battles, then please do join the Discord down below in the description. Always wanting more people to come and play 12-12, or just any Total War game, to be honest. And always wanting to interact with more players. And you can also interact with myself if you'd like to do that. And yeah, you can find out, like, you can influence various things on the channel, like uploads, like what's going to be uploaded that day, or what campaigns, etc. So it's definitely worth joining the Discord if you'd like to take part in some battles, or just have more influence over the channel. But as you can see here, these sergeants themselves are now battling out. Oh, look at these guys. They're just fighting to the death. And like, I love just seeing them leap and stuff like that. It's glorious. And yeah, this cavalry snuck around this gap here, very, very smart. And it's now going to be able to do hammer and anvils in the back of this sergeant. So, I mean, Granada's not going without a fight. And I respect that. I mean, they go up here. We've got sergeants fighting on the walls here as well. I mean, this unit, they need to give the order to actually fight this unit because only part of the unit's fighting, which is no wonder it's losing. That's the Muslim side, that is. They need to give the order to actually attack. Because you can see they're all just like looking stationary. But if you give the attack order, they'll all face the unit that it's supposed to be attacking. But this will be a nice charge. Oh, that's a sandwich if I've ever seen one. That is a sandwich. I mean, there's literally no Aragonese men that got up. That unit broke instantly. Wow. Look at that. And now you can see Aragon's trying to reply with his Royal Guard arriving. And we've got some Caballeros, a broken unit here. Trying to help, but pikes are appearing. I did insist charge because the pikes weren't set up, but they've set up now. I mean, they can charge in. They won't hit the pikes just yet. But yeah, look at that mess of men and horses. It's glorious. It's glorious. I love it every single time. And yeah, we're having a few issues. I mean, you can see these crossbows of getting a bit focused down. They've been charged once. We've got a culverin up here now. I brought my culverin with the remaining ammo we have, and I'm going to try and shoot the pikes. I'm going to shoot just about everything we've got. You can see cavalry going desperately across the fight on that far flank, which we've just left. And they're getting focused down. They need to keep moving these caballeros. I mean, I've still got my cavalry here, which I'm desperately going to send around as well, but there's no real need for it. We're now assaulting the final stand you can see here. This is a huge blob. It's possibly too many men in this blob, but we are fighting all sorts. They've got gunners here. They're desperately trying to focus down. It's just one unit of urban spearmen holding back loads and loads of men, including pole arms. We've got like shock infantry in here. We've got swords in here. We've got all sorts of Castile really in here. For me and the other Castilian player. Now they're going to send down pikes of their own. I think they're actually focusing down these other polearm units, which is not a bad target for the gunners. I mean, they're going to get lots and lots of kills, that gunner unit, I'm pretty sure. And here you go, slingers are now being sent out randomly. It's a strange order, but I mean, they're going to get focused down as they retreat. They'll lose a few men, but we're really taking out this this pike unit here, which is really, really like weak at this point. And I'm sending around my shock infantry to help in this area here, because it's getting desperate. And I'm bringing my gunners up here to start focusing down this this pike unit. That was the decision. Oh, look at this! This flag bearer for the gunners. He looks awesome. His black and gold armor. That is gorgeous. I didn't even realize that, but he is a gorgeous, gorgeous model. A gorgeous man, I should say. And that's perfectly fine to say when you're talking about a man's armor. Look at this, gunners. Oh, you can sort of see men dropping. I mean, yeah. Definitely a few men dropping. I mean, if you got even closer, it'd be nasty. But, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, they are at risk of being shot by, like, I don't know, crossbows or slingers and stuff. So, keeping them at a fair distance. I mean, I've got now Pavi's crossbows coming over here. I've just realized also that the unit's, like, size for for gunners and, like, everything like that has been increased by 10. Like, crossbows and gunners now have 10 extra men. I always thought they had the same amount as like normal infantry, but they don't. And look at that, we're just focusing these guys down. They're going to start dropping like mad. But yeah, this unit's now wavering because of gunners and because of crossbows. So they need to be careful. And we've got the armats coming across. We've got gunners now coming across as well from the other Castilian player. And this is going to be a firing squad for this pike unit. I mean, if we decided now that this way is kind of a bit obstructed, so we're gonna have to break through here, which we're gonna do, and then we're gonna just go around. I mean, you can see here, look at this cavalry unit's trying to break through these pikes, and not these pikes, these polearms and gunners, and he's gonna take out these gunners. Like, Aragon's had a rough game. He's not had a good game, and this cavalry unit might actually break. Just keeps charging in, and we'll have to see. I mean, these gunners need to get like out of the way. Really, they're kind of not in the right spot. Because now they're obstructing my crossbows, and they're just going to obstruct themselves doing that. And the pikes here are nearly breaking, which is good. We've fired, like, culverins in here. We've fired gunners in here. Crossbows are still going in. These men just won't die. I mean, if you're just a pikeman, at this point, you'd be like, that's it. I've had enough. I've had enough. This is too much. And at this point, I'm sending up shock infantry and polearms, because I realize the polearms will soon break this unit on its own. And then the shock infantry can go in. And I mean, this polearm unit, let's just slow-mo for a moment. This polearm unit looks glorious. I mean, they just look at that unit. That is gorgeous. That's a gorgeous unit if I've ever seen one. Spain, Castile has some of like the best looking units in this game now, I've decided. I mean, loads of units are good looking. That's the thing. It's what's so good about this mod. You can see the shock infantry's going in. It's going to cut down these yeah, they cut down these pikes no easy. There's so few of them left, it didn't matter. And now they're going to charge onto this general, and oh, this is going to be painful. Oh my gosh, so many men just dropped there, and that shock infantry unit might be in trouble as the general charges in. And yeah, look at that. It lost like a full unit. Oh my gosh, and the pole arms are now going in. They're now like covering this whole choke point here. And the pikes broke here. It's like all going on now at this point. The pikes broke here and we're now charging them down, cutting them down with the cavalry, and we're getting in behind now. We're going to charge this pike unit with more shock infantry being sent in, and the cavalry can get charged in as well. We've also got now the shock from Aragon now charging in up here. We've got sergeants up here. These are Grenadine urban militia, or urban spearmen. They are basically militia, I personally believe. Getting like outflanked, and they're going to waver. My pole arms are pushing up onto the slope. We're sending in just about everything. I would just like send in your Pavis crossbows in melee at this point. They're decent in melee, and all you're chasing down really is archers, so they'll be fine. But yeah, here you go. These the cavalry's charging in these pole arms. They've sort of done okay, but now the pole arms are getting down, and they're going to have a rough time fighting here. Even archers are going in. That's easy kills to the pole arms, I would have thought. But they just look great. I just love this unit. It's probably now one of my favorite like looking units. It's just like the emblem on like the chest, and then like it's just pure metal everywhere else, or pure steel really, isn't it? Looks awesome. It really does. And we're still desperately fighting to get up here. This choke point's actually been pretty hard to break through. They've done a good job in stopping us with all this sheer amount of like gunners and archers here, but these other two spots are well and truly taken. We are just flooding troops in, cavalry and all sorts, and that is going to be the siege of Granada by the looks of it. You can see there's a unit that was still on the walls over here, like a full unit, basically 145 men. It was just still fighting desperately up here. So I mean, they did well on holding like several areas of the battlefield to the very end of Granada. But yeah, so well done to all the players. And there you go. The siege of Granada is going to go as planned, and it's going to be taken by the Spanish Crusaders. And the Reconquista is complete, and Spain will be unified under Castile and Aragon. So there we go. We'll end the replay and have a look at the end results. So I was playing as one of the Castilian armies. I was the one that made the breach, and kind of like I kind of would say I started the invasion of the city, really. The Dodgy and Aiden having a really rough time, especially Aiden. His sergeants just seem to get charged down constantly by cavalry. But Dodgy certainly had the least losses, actually. Had the most losses, sorry, from that battle. And which is kind of surprising. I thought he seemed to do okay, but he was certainly getting beaten in like the choke points at the bottom of the walls until our cavalry arrived. But anyway, we'll have a look at the end kills. My shock infantry are getting 386 kills. 386 kills. The next one got 200 kills, 209 to be precise. My good-looking halberds got 98 kills, which is okay. They didn't turn up till the very end, but they could have done really well if they like were sent in a lot earlier, possibly. My Rodoleros, all of them, like I thought these guys were the MVPs. They did so well throughout the battle. I mean, they were so well upgraded. But I mean, they were getting like over 100 kills each one. The best one getting 194 kills, so well done to them. My Pavis crossbows didn't do so well, but they did their damage early on. Certainly like killing the cavalry when we were fighting that huge cavalry fight, and also in the initial breach as well. So they got 61 kills. My gunners getting 81. My cavalry getting 286, which is pretty good for them. Dodgy, who was playing as Kingdom of Castile as well, his shock infantry getting 423 kills. Wow, and they were like still over half health. They could have gone to 500 easily. His polearm's not doing so well, but they also got pretty beaten up. His Rodolero is the best one for him, getting 186. His crossbow's getting 66 kills. His gunner's only getting 23, and his cav getting 126 kills, and his trebuchet getting 315 kills. Wow, that's very good for a trebuchet. An inaccurate weapon, but it seemed to still get a lot of kills, especially in those blobs. Aiden, who's playing as the Crown of Aragon, His shock infantry getting 269 kills, and they were very healthy still, so they could have got a lot more kills possibly. His polearms he never used. His sergeants just got absolutely beaten up. You can see here, there's only one that got into the hundreds. The rest seemed to get run down by cavalry. They just had a rough time. His Genoese crossbows only getting like 15 kills. His gunners getting 103, which is pretty solid. And his cavalry getting 313. And his Royal Guard cavalry getting 206. That's pretty good. And his trebuchet getting 153 kills, which is, again, a good amount of kills for a trebuchet, I personally think. Emirate of Granada, the first one, played by Sachex. He was mainly facing off against Aiden, and he did okay, to be fair. His spears didn't do amazing. The best one only getting like 69 kills. His swords just were even poorer. One got 93, but the rest just did not really impact. His crossbows and slingers actually did okay. His slingers especially getting 126 kills, but his cavalry got him most of his kills. As the MVPs for his army, 355 kills and 174. Then we have Paranoid, it was his first battle with us, and well done to him. He was facing me. I thought he did a pretty good job in holding me back. It wasn't until I kind of broke through the breach and the cavalry started to break that he started to struggle, and he lost most of his army at that wall combat, really. But yeah, his spears again not doing well. The infantry for Granada is nothing impressive. I think they do need some sort of shock to kind of give them some sort of a chance, or some better swords spears, but they're not very impressive. I think the best sword he had here was 81 kills, and his spears, the best one was like 44. And his cavalry actually didn't do that amazing either in comparison. His Grenadier Knights, they were tier 1, which will be the difference. Got only 39 kills, so definitely want to bring like tier 3 cavalry if you're going to bring cavalry to a battle, especially if there's not like a tier, like a rule on tiers. Just expect everyone will bring tier 3. And then the final Granada army, played by Anzac, who did a pretty good job. He was facing off against Dodgy, mainly. His general did okay, getting 61 kills before I think he got killed off when we got the second breach and the cavalry spilled in. His cavalry didn't do as well either as like Sachex's, but it still did okay. And then his swords, which he just spammed. He got 48 kills with these guys actually, 143. So I guess they can do okay. And his gunners, the best, getting 264. But certainly Anzac's results kind of give hope on the swords, but I'm still unsure about them. But yeah, his gunners did amazing. That's definitely one of the best units for certainly for Granada. They did really, really well. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the Siege of Granada and enjoyed seeing the Crusaders take the city, then please remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support as we work towards 2k. I'd just like to thank you all for getting us to 1.9k, and I'm sure we'll get to 2k in no time. So keep up your support, guys. I really appreciate it. And until next time, Legionnaires, bye for now.